Richard DeVere had swabbed the campground shower stalls and emptied 20 garbage cans, and now he climbed slowly onto a John Deere mower to cut a couple acres of grass. "I'm going to work until I die, if I can, because I need the money," said DeVere, 74, who drove 1,400 miles to this main campground from his home in Indiana to take a temporary job that pays $10 an hour. DeVere shifted gently in the tractor seat, a rubber cushion carefully positioned to ease the bursitis in his hip, a snapshot of the new reality of old age in America. People are living longer, more expensive lives, often without much of a safety net. As a result, record numbers of Americans older than 65 are working, now nearly 1 in 5. That proportion has risen steadily over the past decade, and at a far faster rate than any other age group. Today, 9 million senior citizens work, compared with 4 million in 2000. While some work by choice rather than need, millions of others are entering their golden years with alarmingly fragile finances. Fundamental changes in the U.S. retirement system have shifted responsibility for saving from the employer to the worker, exacerbating the nation's rich-poor divide. 2 recent recessions devastated personal savings. And at a time when 10,000 baby boomers are turning 65 every day, Social Security benefits have lost about a third of their purchasing power since 2000. Joanne Molnar, 64, and husband Mark, 62, are part of a growing number of older Americans traveling the country in their RVs for seasonal jobs. Linda Davidson / The Washington Post, Jeannie DeVere, 72, and husband Richard, 74, are among a record number of Americans older than 65 who are still in the workforce, out of necessity. Linda Davidson / The Washington Post polls show that most older people are more worried about running out of money than dying. There is no part of the country where the majority of middle-class older workers have adequate retirement savings to maintain their standard of living in their retirement, said Teresa Gallarducci, a labor economist who specializes in retirement security. People are coming into retirement with a lot more anxiety and a lot less buying power. As a result, many older workers are hitting the road as work campers, also called workampers, those who shed costly lifestyles, purchase RVs and travel the nation picking up seasonal jobs that typically offer hourly wages and few or no benefits. Amazon's Camper Force program hires thousands of these silver-haired migrant workers to box online orders during the Christmas rush. Amazon chief executive Jeffrey P. Bezos owns The Washington Post, Walmart, whose giant parking lots are famous for welcoming RV travelers, has hired elderly people as store greeters and cashiers. Websites such as the Workamper News list jobs as varied as ushering at NASCAR tracks in Florida, picking sugar beets in Minnesota, and working as security guards in the Texas oil fields. In Maine, which calls itself vacation land, thousands of seniors are drawn each summer to the state's rocky coastline and picturesque small towns, both as vacationers and seasonal workers. In Bar Harbor, one of the state's most popular tourist destinations, well-to-do retirees come ashore from luxury cruise ships to dine on $30 lobsters and $13 glasses of Sauvignon Blanc, leaving tips for other senior citizens waiting on oceanfront tables, driving Ollie's Jolly buses, or taking tickets for whale-watching tours. The Devers have noticed this economic divide. They found their campground jobs online and drove here in May, with plans to stay until the season ends in October. On a recent day off, they took a bus tour near Bar Harbor and Acadia National Park, where the tour guide pointed out the oceanfront Rockefeller Estate and Martha Stewart's 12-bedroom mansion. The ones who go on these ritzy cruises to all these islands in Maine, I don't know how they got all that money. Maybe they were born into it, said Jeannie, 72. And then you see this poor little old retired person next door, who can hardly keep going. And he's got his little trailer. On election day last November, the Devers expressed their frustration. For more than 50 years, they had supported mainstream candidates in both parties, casting their ballots for John F. Kennedy, Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton and George W. Bush. This time, they concluded that the Democrat, Hillary Clinton, would be no help to them. And they found the Republican standard-bearer, Donald Trump, too mouthy. So, for the first time in their lives, they cast protest votes, joining legions of disaffected voters whose aversion to Clinton helped propel Trump into the White House. Richard voted for Libertarian Gary Johnson. Jeannie left her presidential ballot blank. We are all talking about this, but not politicians. Helping people build a nest egg is not on their agenda, Jeannie said. We are the forgotten people. This job is a blessing. Devers first hit the road.